I think the Prime Minister has to be quite careful these days when reporters ask her about all the political issues of the year, because she has been saying that constitutional amendments do not belong to the government's purview. It should be in the House. But then when reporters ask her, she sometimes forgets that she has said something about it, and then she started answering questions.
Right. For example, today she has reacted to the proposal from Kun Ukrit Mongkol.
Yes.
Yes, and at the same time, she said that she gave some hint that she may prefer to have a constitution drafting assembly to be elected by the people.
But she also said she welcomed Dr. Ukrit's proposal.
Yes. We're still trying to work out what she really means on that.
But it seems that if you read Kun Chalerm Yubamrung's statement, the government seems to be thinking about trying to delay it, at least until the end of the year.
To me, it's so clear that the government is trying to reprioritize the this year agenda, and apparently constitution amendment is not on top of it at the moment.
Which is strange, because not long ago it was one of the top priorities.
Right, just before the year end, we heard everyone from the government side saying that it would be the urgent issue of 2012.
But then if you listen to Kun Jatuporn Prompan, he's still talking about getting it done quick. But then if you listen to some other Pheu Thai MPs, they seem to be saying that, well, we can wait a while.
Right. There are three main options that the government has not made a decision yet on which option is preferable. The first is to have Parliament handle the new constitution. The second is to have an elected drafting assembly write a new constitution. And the third one belongs to Kun Ukrit Mongkol Nawin, who proposed the setting up of a panel of experts. You included.
Yeah, that was
right.
quite, to me, quite funny.
Kun Ukrit's proposal is appointment by the government or by whoever in power. So this is a much criticized.
Well, it's not going to work because, who has the authority to pick these 34 people? Dr. Ukrit Mongkol Nawin, he has no right to say, okay, these are the 34 people who will draft the constitution.
Yeah, but
doesn't represent anything. The legitimacy is not there.
But I sort of understand the concern because when it comes to constitution, you need some expertise. To it's not anyone. It's not like picking an MP who you can have anyone who is have the qualification, education, qualification, and so and so. But when it comes to drafting a constitution, we need some expertise.
So that's what he said. You need an architect to build a house, and he thinks that he can find an architect, but politically it's not going to be acceptable to most people anyway. And whoever comes into this committee will be seen as either serving Thaksin or being part of the Thaksin's game.
It could be a lose-lose situation for whoever is in the committee.
Yeah, if you are known as to be a pro-Thaksin person, you will be criticized for being used by Thaksin. If you are seen to be on the other side of Thaksin, you will be seen as being exploited by Thaksin and willingly being used.
And whatever you do, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So it's not a substance. It's the style, it's the composition. Anyway, if it's the 8th month delay that Chalerm has been talking about, it means the end of the year. It means also that the 111 politicians who were banned would be coming back before that, in May.
In May, yes.
And that raises the question of whether a cabinet reshuffle would take place before May or after May now.
We're having a close watch on this, and we have a feeling that it could take place before May.
Before the 111 politicians come back?
Right, because for one thing, the government needs to reboost its popularity after the flooding last year, and then secondly, we have heard that the government is not quite satisfied with the performance of its economic ministers.
You mean the government? Who is the government you're talking about? The Prime Minister or Thaksin or
whoever has the power to run this government? And so we now the issue is whether who will be gone before May. Some speculation has to do with the finance minister Kun Thirachai, and then some other speculation has to do with also Kun Kittirat Natanong.
Now, if you watch TV on Saturday, Yingluck's government's meeting the people on a weekly program, and you didn't see the Prime Minister, and you saw Kun Wirapong Ramangkul and Kun Kittirat. First question is, what is Dr. Wirapong doing there? Yeah. Secondly, why isn't the finance minister there? Thirdly, why wasn't the governor of the Bank of Thailand there? And Kun Kittirat, being deputy prime minister and commerce minister, is talking about financial issues.
Talking about all the budget problems. So it's quite strange there.
Yeah, and then Dr. Wirapong came out to attack the central bank. Why the finance minister wasn't there? In fact, you see, even if the finance minister was there, he wouldn't be able to attack the central bank with that kind of language that Dr. Wirapong had. And Dr. Wirapong made it very clear that I would say this because I know Kun Kittirat cannot say this, because he has to work with the central bank.
So it's getting a little bit messy there.
It is. So we shall see whether the constitutional amendment will be postponed and whether the cabinet reshuffle will actually take place before May. And the timing is very crucial because it determines the survival of the Yingluck government.